is Channel 8 News Midday.
Severe weather breaking overnight with powerful storms rolling through the capital city, causing quite the mess. Homeowners and LTU crews now left with a tough cleanup job this morning after that trail of destruction left behind. Thank you for joining us, everyone. I'm Andrew Warren. Now, this is just a fraction of the damage here shared with us by citizen journalist Melanie this morning. A massive tree branch here pulled off from this tree and now laying in the yard. Now, walk with me here. More damage here to show you in the aftermath on our video wall. Melanie showing us the powerful videos around her area. More tree branches scattered around the neighborhood to garbage cans tossed around by strong winds. Now you can see here on the left side of your screen, these large branches ripped from the tree and then blocking off the sidewalk, even part of the street. Heavy rain and thunder there in these videos pouring into the Now Local News app. This one from citizen journalist Brian. Rain pouring down at a fast rate, huge cracks of thunder, the sky illuminating with flashes of lightning. Another one here from citizen journalist Heidi. You can hear the rain pounding on the roof. Big displays of lightning as well. Super strong gusts of winds. We've heard several reports of flooding and then downed trees. Take a look at this near 10th and D streets. It's blocking the entire left side of the road. Some cars having to slam on their brakes to get around it. Just take it easy this morning. It's going to take crews a little bit of time to clear the debris from those storms. Here's a live look outside at our current conditions. Our Al Communications camera. You couldn't tell it all by looking at this camera that it rained last night. Well, let's get to meteorologist Houston Hall with an updated forecast here. We could see this possibly again tomorrow, Houston.
Yeah, you know, with these summer thunderstorms, it's very like what we just saw yesterday morning. You know, sometimes models pick it up, sometimes they don't. Really, if you can get a thunderstorm late at night and it can continue past midnight, all right, it might have a good chance to move its way into southeast Nebraska, and exactly what we just saw. So always be on alert, and that's what we're here for, as it came in pretty early just for that case this morning. Right now, we got some upper level cirrus clouds, my favorite clouds. We're all about 83 to 86 degrees, but we do have a little bit of near surface smoke. Notice where the rain happened this morning in southeast Nebraska. We're not really dealing with that, but off towards the west just a bit, there is some moderate concentration of that near surface smoke. You can kind of see it on visible satellite. It's really just blending in with all that cloud cover. We're seeing some mostly to partly sunny skies for much of the state. Temperature-wise, about 80 in Thedford, 86 here in Lincoln, and then dew points, they're doing okay. They're behaving today in the lower 70s, but still a heat index value into the upper 90s like Omaha, feeling like 97. We do have a little northeast breeze, 5 to 10, trying to help us out. Temperature-wise, I think we will top off around that 90-degree mark. And then we have some severe weather on Thursday. Now, this does look like our best chance for some gusty winds and some strong storms. So I'll show you the whole timing and when the storms will arrive in a few.
Thank you very much, Houston. And don't forget, whenever there is severe weather, our Now Local News app is best way to stay safe and let us know what's happening in your neighborhood. Our own Houston Hall sharing us this video, the morning, lots of lightning in this one. And then use the QR code on your screen and make sure you are a safe space before sending us any videos. Well, right now, tension is building ahead of Congressman Mike Flood's town hall in Lincoln. The meeting taking place at Nebraska Wesleyan University starting at 5 o'clock. During the town hall, Congressman Flood will provide an update on his work for Lincoln in Nebraska's congressional district. The events will also include a question and answer session with attendees. In response to Flood's town hall, the Nebraska For Us organization is holding a silent protest outside the venue. Members of the organization say the protest focuses on Congressman Flood's steep cuts to federal programs such as SNAP and Medicaid and health insurance premiums. They say members of the public are welcome to join as they will be in front of the venue before doors open. Now, in the past, Flood's town halls have gotten heated. We'll be there tonight. I'll let you know how this one goes on our Now Local News app and tonight at 10. Developing now, a funeral ceremony underway for Senator Lindsey Graham. Fellow senators and top-ranking members of the Trump administration, including President Donald Trump, at the Capitol Rotunda this morning, all paying their final respects to the Republican senator following his sudden passing. ABC's Olivia Rubin has the details.
Ready, step.
Today, late Senator Lindsey Graham remembered in the nation's capital. His casket brought to the place he served for more than 3 decades, the Capitol Rotunda, honored by his fellow senators.
And to Lindsey, rest in peace, my friend. I look forward to the days when you make us all laugh again.
Then a funeral service at the National Cathedral, expected to be attended by leaders from around the world. There, he'll be eulogized by President Trump, who became a close personal friend of the late senator after the senator initially spoke out against his 2016 presidential run.
He was our friend. He was a friend of all of us. He was a great guy. He was a great politician, actually.
Also attending the funeral, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, a testament to Graham's hawkish foreign policy influence. He was a staunch ally of both countries, both leaders now meeting with the president while in town, too. And now, a bipartisan group of senators continuing that work Graham championed just before his death, sanctioning Russia over its war in Ukraine. That bill, now named after Graham, could be taken up as soon as this week. And after the funeral here concludes today, the senator's casket will then return back to his home state of South Carolina on Wednesday for a memorial service there as well. Olivia Rubin, ABC News, Washington.
Happening tonight, a key open house for a big construction project. It's for a roundabout at 40th and A Streets. The city also hoping to fix a lot of aging roads in that area. You can see the cost is going to be a pretty penny here. Our video wall is having a little bit of issues with this video, but you can see nearly a $10 million project, well over 3/4 of that in that pie chart there in the green. That's from federal funding. A lot of people in South Lincoln are interested in this project. Citizen journalist Brian showing us a look at the intersection here on our Now Local News app. Construction isn't supposed to start until the fall of 2028 and will be completed by the spring of 2030. So a massive undertaking. The open house is open from 5 to 7 tonight at Holmes Elementary School off of Sumner Street. Only on 8, one local business is fighting to stay afloat. The rising costs of rent, insurance, and packaging are things no small business wants to see, especially not all 3 of them going up at once, like you see here. Sadly, that's the reality for Smoking Gun Jerky. Our Emma Norwood speaking with them to learn how they're dealing with their economic struggles and what they're doing to get through it.
For 16 years, Smoking Gun Jerky has been a staple in East Lincoln, but now they're struggling to keep the lights on.
We're not closing the doors, but we are skating on thin ice right now of which bills to pay this week, which bills to pay next week.
Rising costs for ingredients and day-to-day expenses, combined with a smaller amount of foot traffic, is squeezing the business from every direction. And it's forcing owner Ryan Hall to make some tough decisions.
Meat has doubled in price since COVID, which that's beef, talking about beef, and that's what we do, is beef. So that really hurts us. Packaging's gone up quite a bit. Insurance has gone up, rent has gone up. You know, my employees, I need to give them more money to keep them, but at the same time, where's the money coming from?
Instead of giving up, Hall posting to social media, opening up about the struggles he's facing. That honesty sparking an outpouring of support.
I've had a gentleman come in and spend $100 just because he wanted to help us. Online orders, those are coming through right now. It's always great. Lincoln always really steps up to the plate to support small businesses when they know that they need the support.
Hall says every sale, like, comment, and share goes further than some realize. And while the future is uncertain, he's hopeful the recent support will help carry the store through this difficult time.
They just all need to know that we're struggling. And it's not just us, and it's not just the small business restaurants, it's everybody. So if you want to keep the small businesses alive in Lincoln, you have to support them, and not just this week.
Reporting in Lincoln, Emma Norwood, Channel 8 News.
At this hour, Big Ten Media Football Days is getting underway. This is the scene in Chicago right now. The Big Ten Conference sharing this on social media. Coaches and players from all 18 teams will speak to the media in the nation over the next 3 days. That includes Nebraska. Although the Huskers won't speak until Thursday, Matt Rhule will be joined by center Justin Evans, tight end Luke Lindenmeyer, and defensive back Andrew Marshall. We'll let you know if any of the coaches mentioned the Big Red tonight at 6 and 10. Coming up after the break, healthcare tests find out where Nebraska stands in a new national ranking measuring the quality of healthcare in the country. Right now, Capital Humane Society is forcing a closure today. An HVAC issue at the Pilac Pet Adoption Center is forcing staff to close. Officials say they identified the problem as an electrical issue with the condenser unit. Now, staff had to temporarily relocate all the animals, but all pets remain safe and comfortable. More than 20 staff members helped move the animals Monday night. The shelter will be closed today while pets are moved back into their regular housing and given time to settle in. The adoption center plans to reopen Wednesday during normal business hours. At this hour, a study is putting Nebraska's healthcare system in the spotlight. A new Wallet Hub study ranking the Cornhusker State 10th best overall healthcare in the country. New Hampshire comes in at the top of the list, while Alaska is in last. The report compared all 50 states using dozens of measures, including costs, access, and health outcomes. Nebraska earning high marks for affordability and access to care, landing in the top 10. Well, more Americans are choosing vacations for wellness, and Johnson & Johnson is paying billions to settle the talc lawsuits. Jane King explains in today's Wellness Report.
Johnson & Johnson agreed to pay $5.5 billion to resolve remaining lawsuits that allege the company's talc products caused ovarian cancer. If the deal goes through, it would put an end to the long-running source of trouble for J&J, one of the biggest healthcare companies in the world. For years, the litigation has hung over the company, damaging its reputation with consumers. Well, 2 in 5 moms of little ones feel like parenting is a job that the day is just too short for. A survey of 2,000 mothers who are currently breastfeeding or have done so within the past 5 years examined where the time goes in those early years of parenting. And feeding takes the most time. This was commissioned by Mom Cozy and conducted by Talker Research for National Breastfeeding Month in August. And the survey found the average mom spent 3 hours a day breastfeeding during the first year, with 28% spending upward of 5 hours on that. And more Americans this summer are going on a wellness retreat. Kayak's 2026 Trends Report found 66% of Gen Z and millennial travelers surveyed named relaxation and mental reset as their top priorities. And wellness tourism has exploded in recent years. It's expected to become a $1.4 trillion industry by 2029, according to the Global Wellness Institute. From the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Jane King. Here's your health.
Well, after some showers and thunderstorms, we got a little bit of near-surface smoke out there, not in southeast Nebraska. Do have another chance for rain and then possible severe weather Thursday. I'll show you the forecast in a few.
Get an 11% rebate on your next project when you shop at Menards. Organize your home with Closet Made. We carry everything you need to maximize your space in closets, pantries, and more. Get this shelf kit for a value of $17.79 after rebate. Upgrade your home with new ceiling fans from Patriot Lighting. Quick install fans are designed to save you time during installation, like this Dublin ceiling fan. It's a value of $69.99 after rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Do you yearn for connection? Are you in need of encouragement, hope? For over 40 years, my dad, Pastor Harold E. Salem, and the Christian Worship Hour have provided that beacon, a bright, shining light guiding those who are lost and alone into God's everlasting love. Though my dad is in heaven, his timeless messages live on. To experience profound power and life-changing biblical teachings, join Pastor Salem this weekend.
They're too young to vape.
E-cigarettes are the most used tobacco products among youth.
They know vaping is dangerous, don't they?
The majority of youth who vape use flavored products, the kind designed to seem harmless.
If they were vaping, I'd be able to tell.
Many vapes are small, discreet, and resemble everyday items. Don't avoid the conversation. Talk to your kids about vaping. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired in association with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and the station.
At Organized by Design, we handle all the moving and the organizing process.
Whether you're downsizing, decluttering, or starting fresh in a new home, we take on the details so you never feel overwhelmed. We coordinate movers, bring the supplies, pack, unpack, and set up your new space so it feels complete the moment you arrive. By move-in day, everything is unpacked, your bed is made, the pictures are on the wall. All you have to do is walk into your new space and feel at home.
Call Organized by Design today.
Developing now, massive cleanup efforts underway after monster storms across the Midwest. Multiple tornadoes, heavy rain, and strong winds leaving a trail of destruction behind. Nebraska getting its fair share, but Wisconsin and Illinois particularly hit hard. where thousands of people are now cleaning up the aftermath. As ABC's Rena Roy reports, these storms are now heading east.
New video shows the widespread damage left behind in Illinois after powerful storms ripped through the Midwest. In the Chicago area, you can see roofs completely torn off, trees toppled over, and debris scattered all over. Heavy rainfall triggering flash flooding and leaving a trail of destruction.
It's like some huge dinosaur just stomped on everything.
In Wisconsin, the National Weather Service preliminarily estimating an EF2 tornado.
Oh my God!
Packing winds of at least 111 miles per hour, hitting the cities of Appleton and Menasha. Power lines toppled, businesses destroyed, including this bakery.
Our whole house started shaking. I thought for sure we were going to meet the Wizard of Oz. You couldn't see a foot in front of the window. The rain was going sideways.
The mayor of Menasha declaring a local state of disaster. Drone video shows entire communities impacted. Home after home flattened to the ground.
I headed down to the basement, and when I come up, it's like a war zone here.
More than 500,000 customers were without power across the region Monday as the storms rolled through. Air travel also impacted, with more than 1,600 flights canceled nationwide. The same system moving east, you can see roads flooded in New Jersey, cars navigating the deep water.
Now, flood watches are in effect today here on the East Coast along the I-95 corridor from Philadelphia to New York. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Now, for your Storm Alert Team forecast with meteorologist Houston Hall.
The final numbers are in and tallied up. We've got about 1.5 inches measured here at the Lincoln Airport. This was at 1.42, 1.44, and then the final number 1.46. Beatrice, about 0.8 of an inch of rain this morning. Notice some spots, just if you go about 50 miles to the north, absolutely nothing. Even Broken Bow, they saw a decent amount of rain. If you remember yesterday, around 4 p.m., these were the first storms to develop, and they kind of just stood there in southwest Nebraska. Dropped about 1 inch and 1.5 inches. McCook got about 0.3, but still beneficial rain everywhere across really much of Nebraska. Taking a look outside, UK, you might notice a little bit of haze out there due to some smoke. It's 86, feels like 91. We still got that dew point of 71. Just feels like I don't know, type of day. There's the near surface smoke. You can see a little bit of moderate concentration moving off towards the west. Where we had that rain this morning, we're in the clear from the smoke, so that's really the further north and west you go. That's where that is moving. The air quality is moderate. We haven't seen unhealthy for sensitive groups just yet. That could change. Temperature-wise, it's 80 in O'Neill, 81 Broken Bow, 78. The only 70 hanging on down towards McCook. They're usually the warmer spot. 85 down in Beatrice and 88 in Omaha. No 90s out there just quite yet. We got dew points in the 70s, and the heat index, it's in the low to upper 90s. You can see Omaha almost feeling like 100 degrees. We do have a little bit of a northeast wind, 5 to 10 miles per hour. That was due to the little front this morning. Taking a look, visible satellite, there's a little bit of upper level clouds streaming in. And then let's see if we can see any of the little smoke. It's going to be right about here mixed in with really the high level clouds. Overall, we're looking at mostly sunny to partly sunny skies. Going into this evening, we could see a little pop-up shower thunderstorm, I would say from the time frame 4 to 7 p.m. This model is hinting, okay, there could be a little pop-up thunderstorm near Beatrice. Some models might want to put some just north of Lincoln. Really, where you see this cloud cover, there could be a thunderstorm that wants to develop. That's going to be 4 to 6. Going into the nighttime hours, the storms really look to stay across southwest Nebraska overnight tonight. But like we saw this morning, we could see a little thunderstorm continue its path towards the southeast, and then that's what we would have to sort of watch out for, even a little bit of thunderstorms, showers right here just south of I-80. We'll see if this comes to fruition, but definitely got to keep an eye on that forecast due to the summer Mother Nature wants to see. All right, here's Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening. We're going to have some cloud cover, pop-up showers and thunderstorms will be possible. Non-severe, that is. Now let's go into Thursday, where we do have a chance for some severe weather. Here's Thursday morning. We could have some showers and thunderstorms along the Missouri River, even here in southeast Nebraska. Now this is going to be one little wave as we go into about 8 to 11 a.m. Thursday. This is when your damaging wind threat will begin, as that's going to be moving with the front. Thursday evening, 3 to 5 p.m. You can see it sort of makes a line, and then that's just going to congeal and move down towards the southeast, carrying some gusty winds, some hail, even a brief tornado threat on our southern edge of these storms on the tail end. We call them tail end Charlies, but that's going to move through Thursday evening, die out by about early Friday morning. So here's what we got. We got a marginal risk. Could see a slight risk for that wind and maybe even a tornado potential. We'll see what happens when we get closer to time, but that's Thursday evening into the overnight hours. Today, topping off around 90, the heat index in the upper 90s, and then overnight lows just like this morning in the lower 70s, and a chance for a shower, maybe a thunderstorm. Thursday will be our best chance in the morning time and then the late evening into the night. Friday, mostly sunny, and that sets us up for a nice weekend. And then going to next week, some lower 90s for temps.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much, Houston. When we come back, we're looking at a push to lower grocery prices in New York City, what the mayor is doing to make food more affordable, and why critics say the plan won't work.
Bringing you the most comprehensive local coverage dedicated to serving our community and bringing Lincoln nothing but the best. When you need local trustworthy news, the answer is simple. KLKN, bringing you Nebraska now.
The Honda Summer event is going on now at Honda of Lincoln with store-wide savings on every new Honda. Choose from over 300 new Hondas and get financing from 1.99% APR. Plus, make no payments for 90 days. While they last, lease a new 2026 Honda Ridgeline RTL for just $399 a month. Come experience the best, the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
At Spectrum, we believe you shouldn't have to choose between speed, reliability, and value. That's why Spectrum fiber-powered internet gives you all three for just $40 a month. No contract, no commitment. And set up your internet in under 10 minutes. Spectrum fiber-powered internet delivers the most reliable internet for everything you do at home. Streaming, gaming, and connecting. Switch today and get Spectrum fiber-powered internet for just $40 a month. Call now or go online.
Right here in Lincoln, families are turning to Synergy Home Care. Why? Because we're more than caregivers. We're neighbors, friends, and trusted support you can count on. From companionship to light housekeeping to specialized personal care, we provide non-medical home care that helps your loved ones stay safe, comfortable, and right where they belong. Home. Synergy Home Care of Lincoln. Local care, national expertise.
Celebrate America's 250th birthday with Supreme Spa and Pool. Save up to $7,100 on above-ground pools, or get 40% off select packages, or take up to $5,000 off a premium spa. Supreme Spa and Pool.
Developing now a controversial plan to reduce the cost of food in New York City. The city's mayor outlining his plan for city-owned grocery stores. He's looking to provide cheaper groceries, but can the plan succeed? Here's ABC's Sophie Flay.
This morning, as Americans from coast to coast grapple with the cost of groceries, a controversial plan in New York. The mayor is asking for private companies to come forward and run 5 supermarkets that will be owned by the city. Supermarkets where some prices will be lower, a lot lower.
No exceptions, no gimmicks.
Mayor Zohran Mamdani is promising 30% off a core basket of food, like produce and pasta, meat and seafood, bread and yogurt, rice and beans, and more. Other groceries considered non-essential will be sold at market price.
In the wealthiest city, in the wealthiest country, in the history of the world, no New Yorker should have to worry about being able to afford to feed their family.
The city says the discounts will reduce the average weekly grocery bill by 15%. But critics say the mayor's plan, which will cost $70 million, is a wasteful use of taxpayer money that could result in losses for the city. One watchdog saying it is hard to see how subsidizing groceries is the most cost-effective way to increase affordability. Smaller food stores, including New York's famed bodegas, say city-subsidized markets will have an unfair pricing advantage. The idea has been tried before in other parts of the country with mixed results.
City-run grocery stores, it's a challenging enterprise.
A CNBC report found a city-owned store in St. Paul, Kansas, the only grocery store in town, turned a profit. But a store in a neighboring town failed, facing the challenge of running a business notorious for tight profit margins. In big city Atlanta, a success story. A city-backed market run by a private operator is now building a second location. Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
Still ahead this midday, destructive aftermath, the mess people in Lincoln are now cleaning up after powerful storms overnight. We'll show you the extent of the damage left behind.
Looking for a reliable plumbing and HVAC provider in Lincoln? Look no further than Green's Furnace and Plumbing. Locally owned and operated, Green's has been serving the Lincoln community for over 100 years, offering a variety of services including residential plumbing, water heaters, boilers, and water filtration. Whether it's an update to your shower or an entire remodel, Green's is dedicated to walk through the experience with you. Repairs, remodels, or new installations. Our licensed technicians can do it all. Contact Green's today to schedule an appointment.
Next, E.T., we're with the newlyweds Zendaya and Tom Holland. Their Spider-Man date night in L.A. Plus, believe in the new season of Ted Lasso, their red carpet returns.
So it's one big happy family.
Next,
weekdays at 6:30 after Channel 8 News at 6.
Locally owned since 1963, Leach Camper Sales of Lincoln offers a huge variety of RVs. Unlike competitors' same old models, your choice is always uniquely yours. All types, all styles, all price ranges. Get out and live life. Leach Camper Sales of Lincoln. Camp better.
The Whisper Outdoor Tax-Free Super Sale going on now. Summer's blazing and our deals are too hot to handle. Save up to 40% off MSRP and we'll pay your sales tax. Hot tubs starting at $24.99. Payments as low as $48 per month. Luxury swim spas as low as $13,999. Whisper UTV starting at $79.99. Whisper golf carts from $69.99. Plus get 60 months no interest financing and let us pay your sales tax. Huge savings for you at the Whisper Outdoor Tax-Free Super Sale. Go to whisperoutdoor.com.
This news segment is brought to you by Sid's Deli and Subs.
Craving a mouth-watering sub sandwich? Look no further than Sid's Deli and Subs. Serving fresh, made-to-order subs with your choice of sliced meats and cheeses on our soft, fresh-baked bread. Come and taste the Sid's Deli difference. Sid's Deli and Subs, 33rd and Cornhusker, Lincoln.
Now, from Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News Midday.
Breaking overnight, destructive storms sweeping through the capital city. A trail of destruction seen all across the city, and thanks to our citizen journalists, we've had our eyes in multiple places around town. Kevin showing us the messy aftermath here around E Street and on 10th Street this morning. Tree debris lying all around. Leroy also showing us the storm impact near his area. You can see the massive branch here covering the parts and yard in the streets as well. Let's take a live look outside though at our ABC Seamless camera. Now this is near 48th and Cornhusker. That underpass in this area was actually blocked off for several hours this morning due to some flooding, but that has since surpassed, obviously, because of the lack of rain at this hour. But let's get to meteorologist Houston Allen. Houston, we could be gearing up for another round later tonight.
Yes, that is correct. When it comes to these summer thunderstorms, always just keep your head on a swivel once it goes into the nighttime, because like we just saw this morning, that could happen any morning when there is a chance for some thunderstorms west to east. Check this shot out that we have. We got a whole bunch of upper level cirrus clouds, which usually indicates a little bit of light rain possible in 24 hours, maybe a weather pattern change, and I think we will have that in the forecast. A little bit of a light breeze, but also mixed in with that cloud cover, and it might be a little bit of surface smoke. You can see the orange and the yellow. That's all out towards the west from about Broken Bow up towards O'Neill. That's from some fires off towards our northwest. Other than that, there's no rain out there. Some of us seeing some mostly sunny skies. The rest of us seeing that just filtered sunshine. We're at 86 here in Lincoln, 88 in Omaha. No one has touched the 90-degree mark just yet. Lower 80s further west you go, though. The dew points are really behaving themselves, I would like to say, the lower 70s. This time yesterday, the dew points were in the 80s in some spots. So we do have a feel-like temperature near Omaha, about 97. We feel like 91, really a lot better than the triple digits at this time. Northeast wind, 5-10. We'll top off around 90 and then drop to the 70s by 1 a.m. And we do have some severe weather on Thursday. This looks to be Thursday morning and then especially Thursday evening in the form of some damaging winds. So I'll show you the timing of that in main weather.
Thank you very much, Houston. We are seeing more evidence of these storms in Lincoln. Citizen journalist Brian measuring rain totals at his home in south part of town. And from what he's showing us, it looks like his rain gauge is gathered around 2 inches of rain. And more videos in our Now Local News app. This one from Kevin showing trash cans on the side, tree limbs scattered all around that area near E Street this morning. When storms like this hit, we want you to secure yourself, then safely take videos like these and share them with us on our Now Local News app. Just scan the QR code on your screen to download it today. Developing now an update on the mission to make a difference in Kerrville, Texas. Nebraska Task Force 1 is coming back home after spending the past few weeks in Texas helping communities recover from the devastating floods. We just found out they're going to arrive at about 1:30 this afternoon. Governor Jim Pillen saying, quotes, "Their capabilities are remarkable, as is their professionalism. I'm glad to know they're returning to Nebraska safe and sound, and I thank them for their service in Texas." Task Force 1 not alone in lending a helping hand. Lincoln native Sydney Sherman is also returning home, helping people who faced devastation. This was her second trip to Texas, distributing supplies like baby wipes, body wash, and toothpaste. Our Danielle Da Silva speaking with her after her journey home.
Welcome back. Thank you. During the 4 days spent in Hill Country, Texas, Sydney Sherman battled exhaustion with a smile on her face, grateful for the many ways she was able to help.
There aren't even really words to put into what it's like down there. One of the most recurring things I heard is we hadn't even recovered from last year's flood yet. Losing their cars or their place of work.
Doing whatever was asked of her, she says it felt like she was living out of her car, moving from site to site and taking part in all the heavy lifting.
Tuesday morning, I dropped off the donations and then went and helped do some muck outs, which is getting debris and stuff out of houses so then they can demo and then rebuild.
Compared to Sherman's first trip, she says the loss of life was less, but the flooding this time more widespread. She spent hours helping community members and others like her who traveled from out of state, many working to remove personal items from homes covered in black mold. Sherman says the biggest need now is to construct new places for families to rebuild their lives.
They will need long-term support in whatever capacity that can be given. It's really hard once the volunteers start to leave and go home.
Danielle Da Silva for Channel 8 News.
New developments, the Chiefs head coach opening up after the son of his offensive coordinator, Eric Bieniemy, is arrested. The 27-year-old behind bars after police say he shot his mother in a Washington, D.C. suburb. He's facing several charges and is being held without bond. Andy Reid was asked about it at training camp.
We all love EB, and I hate seeing these kind of things happen, but it's there's always a blessing in there somewhere, and so I know things will work out.
The Chiefs organization also saying it's aware of the incident, but not commenting further out of respect for the family's privacy. Now to the latest in the war in Iran. Both sides are sending mixed messages on peace talks. President Trump says the U.S. is in very deep talks with Iran, but says he'll return to the war if they fail. Iran denies any talks are happening at all. Now concerns are growing inside the U.S. military over escalating the war. ABC's Rachel Scott is at the White House with more details.
It's been 5 months since President Trump started the war with Iran. Back in March, he said it would last up to 5 weeks.
Right from the beginning, we projected 4 to 5 weeks, but we have capability to go far longer than that.
Today, President Trump is hosting both Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu and Ukrainian President Zelensky. Things could get tense. Israel fears a U.S. deal with Iran would only strengthen Iran, while Ukraine recently attacked an Iranian ship it believed was carrying weapons to Russia. Meanwhile, there's conflicting messaging about peace talks. The U.S. stopped bombing Iran after 13 straight days, and Trump insists friendly talks are ongoing. But Iran denies any direct talks are happening.
We're having good talks, so we'll see what happens. I think there's a good chance that something could happen, and if it does, good. If it doesn't, we go back to doing what we were doing 2 days ago.
With the Strait of Hormuz still shut down, Americans here at home are paying the price. When the war started in February, gas prices averaged $2.98 per gallon. Today, the average is $4.11. But during a visit to Michigan, President Trump claimed, without evidence, everything is cheaper since the start of the war.
Now eggs are much lower than they were when we first started, And that's true with everything else.
A new Pew poll shows only 24% of Americans give Trump's economy a positive review. 60% say his policies have made things worse. As the midterm elections quickly approach in November, just 4 months away, Republicans are getting more worried the unpopular war will hurt them. Karen Hua, ABC News, Washington.
Happening tonight, the LPS Board of Education looking toward the future. Board members will get a chance to hear from Superintendent of Schools John Scrutta on his goals and priorities leading up to this school year. His plan focuses on student outcomes, staff support, and district operations. Board members are also set to discuss several grant applications that could bring additional funding to the district. We'll let you know how this goes tonight at 10. Also tonight, a family friendly event with live music. The Centerpoint Back to School Bash starts at 6 o'clock at their campus for health and well-being. The bash will have face painting, yard games, food and drinks, lots of raffles and interactive booths with a live performance for the string beans. Admission is free and open to the public. And don't forget, our drive with LPS is this Thursday from 6 in the morning till 6 o'clock at night at our station here just south of 10th and Van Dorn. Come on by, meet our team, drop off any new supplies that can help out a student in need. You can scan the QR code there on your screen as well. You can see the items are needed most, but again, any donation is acceptable. A final send-off for a Husker softball star. Jordy Fromm speaking in front of the nation during the College Women's Sports Awards show last night. She was up for Athlete of the Year. Though she didn't win, she says she's grateful for the goals she accomplished.
I think it just changed the trajectory of my entire life. On the field, obviously I got to wear the home state jersey and play alongside my best friends, and that was always the dream. And to get to finish at the World Series was incredible. And then the way that it has just changed my life, I played my entire 5th year married, now expecting our first kid, got to finish the end of the season pregnant. And those are things that just aren't happening if I'm away. And so it was kind of a leap of faith.
Jordy and her husband are expecting their first child in December. Coming up after the break, the life of a legend. We're honoring the memory of a beloved meteorologist and forecaster. How Kent Boughton is being remembered across Nebraska today.
Horizon Hospice is honored to be a recipient of the Woods-Aiken Best Places to Work Award, all thanks to our incredibly dedicated staff and you, the incredible Lincoln community we're committed to serving. Horizon Hospice, great care with love for life.
It's hotter than a hound dog in a Nebraska heat wave.
I think we need help. I'm gonna just call Dave's.
Family-owned Dave's Heating and Air is Lincoln's heating and air experts. We install quality brine equipment and will do whatever it takes to make your home feel cool and crisp on a hot Nebraska day. Whether you need service, repairs, or a new system, the Dave's family is here for you.
Dave always saves the day.
Dave's Heating and Air, professional service you can trust.
For the quality furniture you're looking for, make the drive to Beatrice and visit Sheer Quality Furniture, offering free delivery to Lincoln. High quality furniture at a great price. Sheer Furniture in Beatrice.
My problem was never really my feet. It was always my back. I had had as many epidurals that I could possibly have in 1 year. And that's when Tara at the Good Feet store kept telling me to try her arch supports. The future I can see now. I couldn't see it before. You can't use this.
See for yourself with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
KLKN is bringing you the best quality newscast. Whether it's breaking news, community concerns, or the stories shaping our future, we're committed to keeping you informed every step of the way. Our team is always there, bringing you the most comprehensive local coverage dedicated to serving our community and bringing Lincoln nothing but the best. When you need local, trustworthy news, the answer is simple. KLKN, bringing you Nebraska now.
Developing now, Wayne State College has landed the largest private fundraising campaign in school history. More than $13 million raised to renovate Brandenburg Hall, transforming it into a new student success center. The rendering here shows what the multi-million-dollar renovation will end up looking like. The $13 million in private donations will be put toward the nearly $19 million price tag. Once complete, the center will bring admissions, financial aid, career services, and other student support programs under one roof.
Now, for your Storm Alert Team forecast with meteorologist Houston Hall.
I'm not sure if you can see, if you look closely, there's, yep, there you go. Yeah, there's bees on the Beatrice cam. You call that the Beatrice cam. Yeah, Sean's roofing cam, and there might be a bee's nest, and you know, I'm dealing with my own wasp at my place, and I'm hoping the wind that we had this morning knocked them on out of there, or else I'm gonna have to deal with them when I get home. It's not too bad of a day to deal with some wasp or bees or anything like that. Just got that hazy sunshine. It's 86 degrees, feels like 91. A dew point of 71. That's tolerable. There's that near surface smoke. It's from the wildfires up towards our northwest, towards Montana, Wyoming. There's a little bit of concentrated smoke just north of Grand Island, and really where the rain was this morning, we're in the clear. But that's all going to linger through this afternoon and evening. Right now, the air quality is moderate, not unsensitive for healthy groups. Temperature-wise, a lot better than what we have been experiencing. 81 in the middle of the state. 80 in McCook. They were just at 78, so everyone is in the 80s now. We're at 86, 85 down in Beatrice, and 88 in Omaha. No 90s. Wahoo was just 1 degree below that. Still got that purple showing up, low to mid 70s for dew points. That gives us a heat index and feel like temperatures. Feels like 97 in Omaha, feels like 91 here in Lincoln, feels like 94 in Beatrice. So it's still muggy and humid. We do have a little northeast wind that's bringing us that smoke, about 5, 10, 12 miles per hour. Here's a look at those upper level cirrus clouds streaming down towards the southeast, looking at mostly to partly sunny skies. There's where much of the sunshine is going to be happening, right there in Broken Bow. No rain is currently out there right now, but can we be expecting some rainfall? Well, we do have a few models wanting to put a few isolated showers and pop-up thunderstorms right here across southeast Nebraska. You can see this band of cloud cover. There could be a thunderstorm within any of this cloud cover. And that's going to be about 3 to 7 p.m. southeast Nebraska. Sure, a few rogue thunderstorms will be a possibility, but the main thunderstorms and rain will be off towards the west. It's going to be taking a dive down towards the southeast, mainly staying across southwest Nebraska going into the overnight hours. But like we saw this morning, you can never trust Mother Nature. See that one little thunderstorm? This is about 2 to 4 a.m. It might be a little faster, and it might be right here. And if it wants to continue its strength on the thermodynamics of the atmosphere, we could see some thunderstorm activity across southeast Nebraska tomorrow morning, so we'll keep an eye on that forecast. Here's Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, a few pop-up showers and maybe a rumble of thunder right in the middle of the state near the Tri-Cities and then along the Missouri River. None of these should be severe. If anything, some gusty winds once they die down. Here's the severe weather threat, all right? This is going to be Thursday morning, 6 to 10 a.m. Could have a line of showers and thunderstorms up towards northeast Nebraska and even some thunderstorms along the Missouri River. Now, the real severe weather threat will begin along a front Thursday evening, about 4 to 7 p.m. There's your line of showers and thunderstorms. Got to watch the southern tail end of those for the best chance for a brief spin up. But all that's going to be diving down towards the southeast Thursday evening, Thursday night, carrying some gusty winds up to 60+ miles per hour. A brief tornado threat. It's out of here by Friday, 3 a.m. Got a marginal risk, but they are talking about the SPC, a slight risk somewhere. And so I placed it right there across really much of eastern Nebraska, as that looks to be the best threat for an upgrade due to those damaging winds and even a tornado potential. The rest of today, lower 90s, heat index topping in the upper 90s and some triple digits. Now tomorrow morning, just like this morning, in the lower 70s, and we have a chance for maybe a rogue thunderstorm. Thursday's going to be our best chance for some showers and thunderstorms, though. That's going to set us up to a pleasant summer weekend. No rain or anything like that, just upper 80s, sunshine. Next week, we try to warm up with a periodic rain chance.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much, Houston. Right now, many are paying tribute to a broadcast icon known for his dedication to the industry. A man's life and legacy leaving a profound impact on the people of Nebraska. Our Mackenzie Johnson taking a look back through Kent Boughton's incredible time, both on and off air.
Of what Noel called a criminal element in pro football.
Kent Boughton, a man who covered sports and news, but most importantly, the weather for the people of Nebraska. Born in June of 1957, Kent quickly discovered his passion for broadcasting, and he started his career at just 15 years old in Grand Island. For decades, he served the people of Nebraska and was a trusted weather source for thousands. One of his most notable nights of coverage was on June 3rd of 1980, often called the Night of the Twisters, when several tornadoes hit the Grand Island area. In 2024, Kent started on air here at Channel 8.
Let's see what Kent Boughton thinks in our first forecast. Kent?
Mackenzie, you could call it the calm before the storm. Storms are imminent for us tomorrow night and into Tuesday morning.
He was inducted into the Nebraska Broadcasters Hall of Fame that year. There's no denying his talent on air, but after having the privilege of working with him, I also want to share his impact away from the cameras. He was wise, kind to all, and incredibly witty. Kent had an extensive can collection, which he was very proud of. One of my favorite memories was on St. Paddy's Day when he really got into the holiday spirit.
Mackenzie, just a wee bit windy and a wee bit colder out there today. The gusts, say it with me now, 33 miles an hour in Lincoln.
On other days, Kent would send over pictures of his suit and tie combo for the day so the two of us could match on air. And when people needed to be lifted up, he was the first to offer words of encouragement. Though he's no longer here, Kent is leaving an impact that will never be forgotten.
May the wind freshen your spirit, may the sunshine brighten your heart, and may the burdens of the day rest lightly upon you.
Reporting in Lincoln, Mackenzie Johnson, Channel 8 News.
So to come here on Channel 8 News Midday, a plea repeal. Why a convicted killer is now trying to take back his confession and what it could mean for his fate. Shocking new developments in the murder of 4 college students in Idaho. Brian Kohberger pleading guilty to the murders and is now proclaiming his innocence. Here's ABC's Hannah Patah.
This morning, self-confessed killer Brian Kohberger is seeking to withdraw his guilty plea, claiming he was coerced into admitting that he stabbed 4 University of Idaho students.
Are you pleading guilty because you are guilty? Yes.
Kohberger is currently serving 4 life sentences for the murders of Kaylee Gonsalves, Madison Mogan, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin. The friends were found dead in an off-campus house in 2022. Police linked Kohberger to the scene using DNA evidence. Kohberger, who had no known connection to the victims, admitted to the killings at the time, though he never provided a motive. Now, in a handwritten petition, Kohberger is asking for the case to go to trial because he claims he was convinced to falsely confess by coercion, disinformation, false promises, and the withholding of exculpatory discovery.
The burden is entirely with Mr. Koberger to convince the court. It is an extremely high standard, and it is strictly followed by Idaho courts.
Koberger, a former criminology student, had researched false confessions just months before the murders, writing a paper focusing on procedural injustice in the American system that has produced many false confessions. Critics suggest his paper could show that Koberger always planned to claim a false confession to manipulate the system. Either way, legal experts say withdrawing a guilty plea after sentencing is unlikely to succeed.
The chances of succeeding on this are, I would say, 0%, and they're not going to let him withdraw his plea.
The family of Kaylee Gonsalves calling out Koberger, saying he chose not to leave his fate or the facts of the case to a jury, adding, "We would have preferred a death penalty trial. We believe fully in the evidence." Hannah Battah, ABC News, New York.
Coming up, crackdown on hackers. Why singer Ariana Grande is suing a group of people online. Why she says it's a battle for privacy and her art. Ariana Grande and her new legal battle developing now. She's filing a lawsuit against hackers accused of stealing and releasing her music online for profit. Here's ABC's Hannah Battah.
This morning, Ariana Grande's battle for privacy is getting wicked.
It's good to see me, isn't it?
She's suing dozens of hackers for leaking her previously unreleased music and personal information for profit. Grande says years of cyber scams and attacks led to her personal data and content being posted on the dark web for significant sums of money. The lawsuit claims the unnamed suspects hacked into various personal digital accounts of photographers and producers who have worked closely with Grande, leading to the unlawful and egregious theft, dissemination, and exploitation of unreleased content. Among the stolen music, the song Fantasize, which quickly went viral on TikTok.
So Fantasize comes out, crazy, was stolen, comes out, thieves, pirates, crooks, illegal.
Grande vowed at the time to hold the hackers responsible.
I'll see you in jail, literally.
Now she's making good on that promise. The lawsuit filed in Los Angeles names John Doe 1 and John Does 2 through 100 as defendants, accusing them of invasion of privacy and violating a California data theft law. Hannah Battah, ABC News, New York.
Celebrate